Go to mycomputercareer.edu. Free career evaluation today. Let me tell you something. The world needs more IT pros because I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. By the way, just wrapped up Narcos Mexico Season 2 on Netflix. Not telling you to watch another channel. Darn good.
I'm starting this week.
Very excellent. Top of next hour, Colin right, Colin wrong. So Tyson Fury, the Brit who we had on last Thursday, beat Deontay Wilder. He is the new heavyweight champ. One of the things I liked about Tyson Fury before the fight, during our interview, he doesn't have a problem leaning in to who he is. He sings. He's dramatic. He'll tell you about his backstory. He dealt with depression, considered suicide. And this fight, he decided to lean into him. He had boxers or trainers that wanted him to cut weight, fight at 260. Said, nah, I'm big. I'm 6'9". I'm going to go back up to over 270 pounds. I'm going to step right into the ring and go after Deontay Wilder. Why am I dancing? I'm the bigger man. He put weight on, 16 pounds heavier than the first fight. He leaned into himself. Listen, Lamar Jackson can throw from the pocket, but what makes Lamar Jackson special, he's the fastest quarterback of my life. Lean into it. Everybody keeps telling Zion Williamson, you've got to lose weight. How about this? Try stopping him first at 270 pounds. I remember watching Michael Jordan early in his career and D. Wade and had basketball people say, you can't play that hard, you can't hit the deck. Dwayne Wade to the last game, Michael Jordan to his last basketball NBA breath. What was he doing? Attacking the basket. That's who they were. Dirk Nowitzki, I'm not going to be a back-to-the-basket guy. Halfway through his career, everybody was looking for the next Dirk Nowitzki. Tyson Fury is a showman. Tyson Fury wants to tell you about his life. Tyson Fury is introspective, and at 6'9", 272 is when Tyson Fury is at his best. He's big, and he leans into it. I would even say this about Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump. I don't feel like they're as much politicians as they are authentic, and that rings true. Tyson Fury put weight on, a lot of it. Guys like me worried about his mobility. Deontay Wilder, you know what? He didn't have to be that mobile. Sized him up. First 5-6 seconds of the fight, went right after him. A 6'9", 272, 73-pound fighter. I'm big. I'm not dancing. I'm chasing. I'm going after you. He leaned in. I love it. Congrats. Love to have him on the show this week as well. Joy with the news.
No.
Turn on the news. This is the Herdline News.
Well, the Lakers made a move. They signed forward Markieff Morris. He cleared waivers Sunday and has signed with the Lakers. He played in 44 games for the Pistons this season, averaging 11 points and 3.9 rebounds per game.
Yeah.
He also has a career-high three-point percentage of 39.7%. They waived DeMarcus Cousins to open a spot on the roster for Morris, and obviously we know the Clippers signed his brother Marcus last week. So doesn't really help their situation for a ball handler or, wing defender, but the three-point percentage thing is interesting.
Listen, if he could hit one three-pointer per playoff game, they'd take it. I mean, this is a team that's good enough to win without him. At this point, it's like the Clippers. They're good enough to win the title without Reggie Jackson, but if he can hit a big shot in a big game, why not?
Well, at this point in the season, you need to, if you're going to make moves, just find a role player that's a veteran that's going to fit in with what you do.
Yeah.
He may not be able to contribute at all whatsoever in the postseason, but later on in the season,
yeah,
he can be a role player that's significant.
Well, in our lives, once the playoffs start, the league gets older. It's like a veteran.
It gets older, but also gets thinner too. So it's like we said, this isn't a piece that you're going to necessarily need to win in the postseason. But if you can have someone hit a big shot in a big moment, that's part of what the playoffs are.
That Miami Heat team that you were part of, if you look at the ages, the one guy that drove them crazy was Norris Cole and Mario Chalmers. It was a Haslam, LeBron, Wade, Bosch,
Mike Miller,
Ray Allen. Battier. Once you get to the playoffs, the league gets a little more gray hair.
So speaking of the Clippers, they dropped their third straight game Saturday in a 112-103 loss to the Kings, and Kawhi Leonard said it's time for his team to start turning things around.
You never know what could happen. time is now. Just got to keep getting better. It doesn't matter what seed you are. You just got to keep fighting, and it's about the right team peaking at the right time. So I don't think we even got there yet. It feels like we're getting close, but we just need guys to get healthy.
They missed 20 of 24 shots and scored only 13 points in the first quarter. Missed 10 of their last 11 shots and scored only 2 points in the last 6 minutes and had 19 total turnovers in this game. But he is right. Patrick Beverley is dealing with a groin injury, and Paul George is dealing with a hamstring injury.
That's something. That's not a little thing.
That's very significant. Yeah. And they have the 3-game losing streak is the longest losing streak of this season. So nothing to be too overly dramatic about, because like Kawhi said, they are dealing with some significant injuries. Yeah. But he's also right. You want to be the team that's just trending in the right direction towards the end of the season. They have some time to get healthy and, get into more of a rhythm. I don't want to overreact to this, but you do want to go into the postseason healthy. Yeah. Especially a team like the Clippers, who's planning on going through the entire postseason. So finally, the Lions are the 3rd overall pick this year, and there's been a lot of speculation about what they're going to do with it.
Interesting.
Well, GM Bob Quinn said the team is open to any trades for the pick, but has not had any conversations about it yet, and he continues to stand by quarterback Matthew Stafford, saying the rumors that Detroit is looking to trade him are 100% false.
Why do you have to trade him? I still can draft Tua. Why do I have to trade him? I mean, it's not like Green Bay traded Favre when they drafted Rodgers. It's perfect. Tua's got a medical injury. I can make an argument you wouldn't want to trade. But if you're not going to take the most talented player available at the 3rd spot, isn't that what general managers do?
It doesn't seem like they're interested. It feels like, I don't know what we hear a lot of things. It doesn't seem like the Lions are interested in getting a quarterback.
What? If I ran the Lions, even if I wasn't going to draft Tua, would I not go public and say, Tua's an incredible all-time talent and scare the Chargers GM? I would want Miami's GM throwing up, going, don't tell me you're going to draft Tua, and that would screw it up because you thought Tua would at least be available at 5, then the other quarterbacks go. Sell.
Yeah, strategically they should be selling that they are strongly considering taking Tua. For that matter, Washington should be doing that too. It doesn't matter. The only thing about these teams that I think that strategically, if you want to look at it that way, that they're not doing that is for fans' sake. So it's going to seem like a disappointment if they don't get Tua. But in the reality, if they can get a bunch of picks for a team like the Dolphins or the Chargers, who are afraid they're not going to have an opportunity to get Tua, and this was never their plan to begin with because they're going to stick with Stafford for, the next 3 years or whatever their plan is. But I'm with you. Why not sell it so that you can get more for a team trying to move up to get Tua?
Listen, if I'm Miami now and you're telling me 0% chance I move off Matt Stafford, why would I give you any picks?
Right.
Well, what's the point?
Right.
Like, I don't get these general managers. I would be literally dropping hints every week. I'd say, I would just make myself available when people ask me eventually about it. If anybody, I wouldn't even talk about Tua unless somebody asked me about Tua in a conference call, and I'd say, he may be the most accurate college quarterback I've ever seen. And just let the media play with that and splatter it everywhere. You could be subtle about it. Don't even talk about Tua unless asked about it. But your job is to get more. When you're bad, you need more picks. You need more hope.
And there's a lot of teams that are very high on Tua and have the draft capital to move around and make that trade. So
absolutely. Joy with the news.
Well, that's the news.